Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So all glories to the assembled devotees. So let's begin our prescribed duties of hearing and discussing. Today we are discussing from chapter 3, Karma Yoga, verse number 8 and 9. So, Nityam kuru karma tvam karma jayo hi akarmaha sharira yatra pichate na siddhayate akarmanaha. Performing your prescribed duties for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. The ninth one. Yagnartha karmano anaryata loka yam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangaha samachara. Perform your prescribed duties, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. The ninth one is, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in the material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for the satisfaction, and in this way you will always remain free from bondage. And in fact, can you just drop an emphatic statement that a sincere, dutiful householder is much better than a mithyachari attached sannyasi. Why prescribed duties? Why prescribed duties is much better than a mithyachari attached sannyasi? Why prescribed duties are so important? Tvam kuru. You should do what? Nityam karma. Your prescribed duties as per your varna and ashrama. Karma jao, hi akarmaha, jao. That is much better than not working, not doing anything. That he says, sharira yatrapi chate, na prasiddhaya akarmanaha. Akarmanaha, without working, you cannot even maintain your physical body. One should do his prescribed duties. You cannot abandon them. Everyone who has accepted a material body must maintain the necessities of the body by acting or earning some livelihood. It is a prescribed duty to work for such income as is absolutely necessary. He should be satisfied always with such income and should not endeavor to earn more and more simply to accumulate the unnecessary. A person in the conditional state who has no money is always found working very hard to earn some with the object of lording it over material nature. Every living entity has a predestined happiness and distress in his present body, and this is called the law of karma. It is not possible that simply by endeavoring to accumulate more money, a person will be able to do so. Otherwise, almost everyone would be on the same level of wealth. Krishna consciousness is not dependent on the conditions imposed by material life. Arjuna was a Kshatriya, and his occupational duty was to fight. Generally, kings fight to extend the kingdoms which they rule for sense gratification. But as far as Arjuna is concerned, he declined to fight for his own sense gratification. He said that although he could get a kingdom by fighting with his relatives, he did not want to fight with them. But when he was ordered by Krishna and convinced by the teachings of the Bhagavad-gītā that his duty was to satisfy Krishna, then he fought. Persons who work at the prescribed duties not for sense gratification, but for gratification of the Supreme Lord, freed from the influence of material nature, as long as one works for his personal sense gratification, he will be full of anxiety. But in purified consciousness, one thinks himself the eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In whatever way we surrender to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he responds accordingly. You are not the body, but the body and mind, they are given to you under your control. Hence, you become responsible for your body and mind and their karmas. What bhagya can you not make if you make Krishna the center? The IPL are taking the nation by storm. Come on, let's play a game of cricket. The referees walk into the stadium. Krishna does the work of the umpire, just like a referee in the game. So, in the game of cricket, there are 11 players on each side, and they are the umpires who come down. So the umpires, they only keep giving decision. 1 leg by, 4 runs, 6 runs, sixer, he's out. So the umpires only give decision. Everybody is free to play their own game, their prescribed duties. And somebody says, you gave me out and you gave him a sixer, the umpire says it's all on how you play the game. I'm just giving you the judgment. Sixer? No, he's caught. Sense gratification. A good example, Bharat Maharaj. Somebody does not know cricket and comes there on the 3rd day of the game of the test match. Says the player has got 90 runs on board, and these players are already out, and the player has just started. What kind of injustice is the umpire doing? What question will be asked by the spectator who does not know that the test match was played 1 day previously and 1 day prior to that also? Likewise, we people also ask the question why there is injustice from the Supreme Lord. One is born with a silver spoon, the other in a desert, in such a poor condition. God says this play happened in the past life, in the prior life, and life before that. It's all continuing. Chewing the chewed, you are in the cycle of the 84 species of life. The bowler Maya bowls a slow ball, the trinkets of Menaka, Vishwamitra bowled out a fast ball. Haridas Thakur hits a sixer. Hari, the bowler is sweating, unsuccessful. The googly, a mating pair of fishes, Saurabha Muni, meditation, bowled out. So Maya keeps bowling a variety of balls. You have to be cautious while batting, making your century, your target, back to Godhead. Or if you're caught out, sitting on the pavilion, waiting for the next match, the next life, you never know what, when, why, where, your next life. This is life. The principle of animal life, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, are actually necessities of the body. Constant transmigration of the soul from one body to the other is because of suffering in the material existence. Only by drinking the nectar of chanting and hearing the pastime of the Lord can one forget the intoxication of material existence. Only then can one be freed from the actions and reactions of material existence. The serpent Maya's fangs are spread. Maya is spread in the field. Her network is subtle, strong, the material senses. As a bowler and her 10 sharp assistants, lust, greed, anger, woman's wealth, wine, meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, caught, and you're in the pavilion. The lower the runs, the lower the ladder of the 84 species of life. So, the game of cricket is really exciting, isn't it? As circumstances are favorable, the fire is ignited. But the wooden stick, which are the causes of the fire, are also consumed by the fire. It is probably dealt with. Similarly, the living entities, by the fire, if it is not properly dealt with. Similarly, the living entities' conditionals life of material existence is due to his desire to lord it over material nature and envy of the Lord. The cause of material existence is at once consumed by careful discharge of devotional service. Arjuna was a fighter, apparently, but when by his fighting he satisfied the senses of Krishna, he became a devotee. Less intelligent men cannot understand the position of the eternal servant of the Lord. The word servant is used, they are baffled. They cannot understand that the servitude is not the servitude of this material world. To be a servant of the Lord is a great position. In Ramayana, Bharat Maharaj refused to rule the kingdom that belonged to Sri Ram. The dutiful Ram refused to go back to Ayodhya. He had his prescribed duty to fulfill his father's wishes. Bharat Maharaj ruled Ayodhya as an instrumental servitor on behalf of Ram, doing his duties to Sri Ram. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jivara Swarupa hai Krishna Nitya Dasa. Kadama Muni was to leave home, his family life, to be completely engaged in the service of the Lord. Kadama Muni practiced yoga rigidly as a brahmachari, became a powerful mystic yoga. Brahma, his father, ordered him to marry and beget children. Kadama Muni dutifully did that. 9 good girls and one son, Lord Kapila Muni. His household duties performed nicely. His duty was now to leave. Had the Supreme Personality as a son, he respected the authorities of the Vedas, an important lesson. Kadama Muni's example is very instructive. Traveling as a mendicant, he could always remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead and be free from all anxiety of material existence. In this age of Kali Yuga, sannyasa is prohibited because persons in this age are all Shudras, cannot follow rules and regulations of sannyasa life. It's commonly found the so-called sannyasas are addicted to nonsense, even to having private relationships with women. They cannot free themselves from the 4 principles of sinful lives. Although they dress themselves as sannyasis, they cheat the public as swamis. Only people who can strictly follow the 4 regulative principles and rules and regulation can take sannyas. Arjuna, Prahlad Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Amrish Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, they are not even in the renounced order of life, but were householders. Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj were born in a demonic family. Prahlad Maharaj's father was a demon, Hiranyakashipu, but association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead made them wonderful devotees. Forgetfulness of one's relations with Lord Vishnu, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of one's repeated birth and death. It is therefore the duty of all living entities to take shelter of the lotus feet of Vishnu and thus save themselves from the cycle of birth and death. Dehuti, wife of Kadama Muni, was attached to living with a husband for sense gratification, which does not lead to liberation from material entanglement. Her life was simply a waste of time. Any work one performed that does not lead to the state of religious life is useless activities. Everyone is by nature inclined to do some sort of work, and when that work leads one to religious life, and religious life leads one to renunciation, and renunciation leads one to the devotional service, one attains perfection of work. Yagnataha karmano anartha loka yam karma bandhana. Unless one is gradually and elevated to the position of devotional service, beginning from the natural activities, he is considered a dead man. Work which does not lead to the understanding of Krishna consciousness is considered useless. As a woman, as an ordinary wife, Dehuti became attached to Kadama Muni to satisfy her sense gratification and other material necessity. but she was actually associated with a great personality. She now understood this and wanted to utilize the advantages of associating of her great husband. He was spiritually great, and she was sure to be liberated by his benediction. One only concern should be to satisfy the Lord by one's activities. If the Lord is satisfied by an action, whatever it may be, then it is successful. Otherwise, it is simply a waste of time. That is the standard of all sacrifices, penance, austerity, mystic trance, and other good and pious work. My Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj says, this is called Mritya Loka, planet of death. Here, the people, everyone dies. You should take every opportunity to read Srila Prabhupada's book, to hear the classes. Don't stay just like a Kanishka Adhikari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the real spiritual form of the living entity is eternal servitorship of the Supreme Lord. So begin the process by chanting Hare Krishna. Always chant Hare Krishna. There is no rule, no regulation. Never mind what you are doing, where you are. Just simply chant and hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna devotees and Matajis. Prabhuji, I end my class here, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.